course, the music of Frédéric Chopin plays a very special role in my artistic life and in my soul, and I'm very happy to present here today in Alicante a very special program, which is basically focused on his last period of work. So it means that I start with the Polonaise Fantasy, followed by Barcarolle, which are Polonaise Fantasy was his last major piece which he composed. After that there was a cello sonata, but for piano, let's say, that was his last word. Then I go a little bit back to his youth, playing the Prelude Opus 45 and Third Scherzo in C sharp minor, and the Andante Spianato and Grand Polonaise Brilliant. And in the end, I will be playing 3 mazurkas, Opus 59, and his third sonata, which is, in my opinion, of course, is one of the best piano pieces which have ever been composed for our instrument. And yeah, so basically this is the core. This late period is the core of the program which I'm performing this time. I think that indeed all the music epochs, that they are somehow connected with each other. So of course it's well known that Chopin admired Bach, and for his trip to Mallorca he took the Well-Tempered Clavier books with him. But so of course, I mean, playing the music of Baroque time, of Bach, Mozart, of course, very much helps, I think, in understanding of Chopin, where his roots, let's say, come from. But also playing the contemporary music of the 20th century, also can give new impulses for different periods, including the music of Chopin. I had 2 years ago, very interesting experience. I played a piece by Toru Takemitsu, Japanese composer who was one of Messiaen's students, and there was one special spot with a very crystal-like, very specific transparent sound, and I thought, wow, maybe this would be a sound I would like to try out in Chopin, exactly in the third scherzo, and these passages follow down. So I think it's really very important to, at least for yourself, to play music of different periods. And we're lucky to have such a I mean, pianists. We pianists are lucky that we have such a great repertoire. And of course, sometimes I have the focus when I choose my programs on, let's say, on one particular piece I would like to play, and then I try to build something around it. But of course, this year, was, for instance, is the 50 years since Shostakovich's death, which means that, of course, I am very happy that I will be performing his 24 Preludes and Fugues, Opus 87 a lot, and it will be also released on a CD this summer. Basically, it's not possible somehow to get yourself as a person, as an interpreter, out of the piece which you, I mean, to restrain from the piece which you are performing. So basically, of course, being an interpreter is something, it's something actually very strange, because you are not creating the music yourself. You are actually reproducing music which has been composed by someone, by a genius, let's say, or somebody who was very gifted in it. So I see my role more as a translator, that I bring this music which I read, which we have in the score, I bring it to life, because just the score, we don't hear it, we cannot experience it, so it should be someone who is making it sound. And of course, at the end, it's always this very personal approach, which, of course, sometimes I don't do it really on purpose, right? I mean, I try to follow the score, which is, I mean, if it says forte, then I perform forte. If it says piano, I play piano, with some exceptions. But basically, yes. But of course, still, it's my personal view, my personal perception of the piece. So it's always very, in a way, it's personal. So I feel a kind of, sometimes as I would be co-creating the piece with the composer. But my role, as I said, should be actually, and it is more like some medium, you know, someone who, yeah, translates the music score to the sound. Well, this is my 4th visit to Alicante already, and I'm extremely happy to be back. It feels very familiar already, you know, the backstage of the theater and the piano, which I know so well already, and I'm I feel very warm receptive here. I have great friends. And it's such a joy to be here, and I'm very happy to be a part of the Society of Music in Alicante, and thank you for coming and having me here.